Hey everyone, thanks again for participating in the six-pack class. I wanted to just take a moment today to review a couple of the yoga breaths that we're going to be using in our series over the next couple weeks. And we are building towards a dynamic breath practice because when we really start to use the belly and the breath together, we actually find a new awareness of our center, which is really helpful when you're trying to strengthen up your core. So last class I introduced a breath called Kapalabhati breath. And Kapalabhati breath is a strong exhalation that comes out through the nose, and the inhalation is passive. And so sometimes this can be a little confusing because we're used to kind of breathing in and out with the same amount of force. So sometimes in yoga classes you're breathing in, you're breathing out, and so you have that sort of push and pull. Kapalabhati is a little different. Kapalabhati is all about the push. So you can do this by taking your hand to your belly. You can just feel your abdomen. So when you breathe in, your belly expands. You feel it move forwards. And when you breathe out, you feel your belly contract, if you're putting some force behind it. With Kapalabhati, it's all about the contraction. This is what makes it so great for your core, because what you're going to do is you're going to focus on the push. So as I breathe out forcefully, and I give a little squeeze, my belly draws in very strong. Now when I relax, because that push was so strong, the breath will naturally just flow into the body, so I don't have to actively inhale. So it's going to look a little something like this. Every time I relax, breath just naturally will come into the body. It won't be as big as an inhale that you would take on your own, but it'll be enough to get to the next breath and the next push. So practicing a little Kapalabhati will look like this. And I'm giving a little bit of extra effort so you're hearing the sound of the breath a little bit more, but it can be sort of quiet. And it's all about the push. Now usually Kapalabhati goes kind of fast, so it's a little something like this. And if you're just learning this breath, that can be sort of hard to do, so that's normal. If it helps you in our practices, take it nice and slow. But put all that emphasis on the exhalation. So that's Kapalabhati breath, and we'll use some of that in our upcoming core class tomorrow night. In addition to that, we'll also start introducing what's called Bhastrika breath, which is very much like Kapalabhati, except now the exhalation and the inhalation will be forced. So we'll push on both ends of the breath. And this is sometimes what you're more used to if you're doing like a dynamic breath practice, or even if you just go out for a run. If you go out for like a run and you're sort of breathing, and you're trying to catch your breath, you're sort of doing a Bhastrika, except in our yoga practice and our core practice, it's a little more intentional. So now I'm going to do the same type of breathing, but it's going to be on the exhale and the inhale. So it's going to look like this. So I'm getting a push and a pull every time I inhale and I exhale. And just like Kapalabhati, Bhastrika tends to be a little faster. So normal practice looks a little something like this. It's pretty dynamic, and it can actually get you hyperventilating pretty fast. So we'll use a little bit of that in our core practice this week as well. I like to do these types of breath techniques both as a warm-up and when we're holding a pose for a long time, because it really pushes the oxygen and balances out the carbon dioxide and oxygen levels in the body, and it just helps you kind of find some more energy in the practice. So this is a little video just to kind of give you a heads up on a couple of the breath techniques that we're going to be doing. I'm going to do another breath technique video in a couple of days, because in our third and fourth class we're actually going to be pushing for a much more dynamic discovery of the core with the breath. But enjoy this, practice this whenever you like, and hope to see you soon. Thanks so much.